What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Dirty Mike, and today, my friends, I've got something special. We're gonna look at the most overpowered players that you can buy, you can afford in FUT Champions. These guys are certified, they're gonna make a difference. Because I've been putting out squad building videos each week, and I realized that my weekend league squad, it's grown in price. It's not cheap. It's not going to be on any sort of discount shopping tip. But I still need to bring it to YouTube because people ask me, what team are you using? What tactics? All the above. So that's in this video. But I want to start out going through the 4 major leagues and players that you can choose to use and abuse in FUT Champs. We're going to discuss it a little bit. If you enjoy this concept, drop a thumbs up because I want to give you the cheap options, and I want to give you then, of course, my super squad that I'm trying to truly get used to and put together the best gameplay. And also in the comments down below, let's open this up for some dialogue. What players did I leave off? Who would you have in your 4 big leagues? Get involved. One disclaimer, this is not a hardcore list. I'm not going from number 1 to number 10. In fact, I made a video dedicated towards the best players in Ultimate Team. No price range, value buys. I'll link that in the comments. But this is a good general synopsis from each league of players that you can put into the starting 11 that you can expect to perform at the highest of levels. Welcome to the Premier League, and the only criteria that I tried to keep consistent was that all the players were under 30,000 coins in each of the 4 big leagues that we're going to look into. Koscielny might be a little bit of a debatable. Depending on the weekend, he can go over and under that amount. Because he's French, he's in the Premier League. Just depends what the restrictions, what the requirements are for that weekend. I still include him up top, though. Martial. And he's an 82 overall, but I still consider him one of the more overpowered players in FIFA, even though he's not a high rated and he's not a low rated. He's kind of a tweener. He's in between. You see what I did there? But he plays like an 86 or an 87, so that's why I say he's overpowered. We got Vardy, who's still going to party, he's still turning up. Wayne Rooney, who you might not love in real life. I know United fans kind of go back and forth with Wayne Rooney. Like, he's not what he used to be. I understand. But in FIFA, that physical category, oh, you notice it. You can play him as a center mid. You can play him as a cam. You might even be able to get away with playing him as a CDM, actually. Then Conte, who I don't need to talk about. Dembele just had a new SBC card, but left-footed, God, very physical, great overall stats. Fellaini, another overpowered player. Someone that I trust, and I've used him in many squads. Could be a good super sub. He breaks up plays, annoying. Defensively, actually, many people are using this as their starting defense. And it's just not expensive. Between Luke Shaw, Koscielny, Kyle Walker, and Smalling. And then in goal, you have Butland or Begovic. Take your choice. For the subs and the reserves, we've got Loic Remy, Musa. That's a tag team partnership you don't want to see. Emery, who just got another special card. Same with Bellerin, Bailey, Herrera, Eriksson, Matic. And there's plenty more. This league has the most depth of any of the 4 major leagues in terms of overpowered talent and just players that people kind of experiment with. Into the Bundesliga, and don't worry about formations. This isn't squad building. It's just putting a starting 11 and then some subs and reserves. However, the starting 11 is the players that I definitely gravitate towards. Koeman, another one of the most overpowered guys, and I feel the best player in terms of rating to performance is Renato Sanches this year at a 78 overall. He's in there. Wendell, people sleep on him, but don't. That Brazilian is the realist. Chicharito up top, always having good seasons. Respect that, man, even though I am not a big fan of the Mexican national team for obvious reasons. It's a rivalry. USA, Mexico, 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 Mexico. Anyways, and then Dembele, we're all familiar. He's got quite a few upgraded cards now. He definitely does. Draxler, who is another player that's cheap, and for an 84, well, maybe he's not as cheap at this current moment just because SBCs. I've used him in many FUT Champions, especially early on when you were looking for cheaper squads. Thiago, and then defensively, Top Rack, Socrates. Piszczek I prefer over Michel Visa, but I would not be mad if he flipped him. So Piszczek's a better defender, Michel Visa is a better attacker, and he has 4-star skills, so the decision is all yours. And then Farman is actually better than Leno. Real talk. No debatable for me. Let's go, champ! And we're looking at the subs and the reserves again. Bellarabi, I don't see him used enough. I like that guy. Of course, there is Michel Visa. Embolo had to be on there. Shirla. I don't really love Castro, but the center mid options in this league, they don't have the depth that you would like in the Bundesliga. At least in my opinion. There's not that many center mids that I like using or that I think are at a top tier level. Volland, man, he's got a killer shot. Ricardo Rodriguez, very similar to Leighton Baines. Then we've got Han, who is a good striking option. He also has a Movember card. Costa, fast and small. Calahanglu with the free kicks, but he's just not what he was last year. Ta, kind of like a cheap Boateng, not as good. And then I like Campbell a lot. People sleep on this card, but put Kevin in the lineup, see what happens. Welcome to the Serie A, now known as the Calcio A in FIFA. And I've gone with Niang up top, El Shaarawy, Salah. And what is interesting about this league is the players are all so cheap. Outside of maybe Nainggolan and Dybala, maybe I shouldn't have included Nainggolan on here. I threw him in the mix, but he could be over that 30K mark. My mistake. I think Pjanic is still under that, though. Even their highest rated players in the Serie A or the Calcio A are not that expensive compared to some of the other leagues. Asamoah, monster Asamoah. Alexandru, some say is the best left back in the game. What do you guys think? On the right side, Perez, I can tell you he's certified, man. Probably top 5 right backs. Yeah, I'd say that's about right. I love Barzagli. Manolas is good. Not a bad partnership there. A lot of good defenders I see in this league. If you like the Chiellinis, the Bonucci's, I prefer Barzagli to them. Or if you want the Rudiger, who you're going to see on the bench. And then Buffon's better than Handanovic. I didn't think I would say that. Based on how good Handanovic has been in past FIFAs, this year he's just missing some juice. When we look at the rest of the squad, starting out with Khedira, he was better earlier in the year for me, but I know some people swear by him, so still worth including. Cuadrado, yeah, there's that Rudiger I was talking about. Mertens, who's got informs, team of the group stage, you name it. Hamsik is a great value purchase for 85 overall, as long as it's not during the heavy SBC season. Wait for him. I put Bonucci and Miranda in there. I actually like Miranda a lot this year, and I'm not usually the biggest fan of Brazilian center backs. Fullbacks, cool. Center back, Jovetic. And then Florenzi, who some people flip with Perez, but I just think Perez is hands down better. Just better. Banega, who gets tired, but other than that, you like him. Marquisio, and then Koulibaly, who's kind of the big man on campus. He's moving everybody around. You feel his presence, absolutely. Last but not least, we're looking into the La Liga. And up top, I've gone with Ben Yedder, Bakambu. Pretty solid partnership. You've also got the likes of a Gamero or a Pato, just depending on preference. This league is much better if you have the coins, obviously, with the Gareth Bales, the Messis, the Ronaldos, the Suarez, the Griezmann. But we're not going to act like you got the coins. Maybe you have the coins from one of those guys and you got to build around them. Carrasco's solid. Steven and Zanzi. Thumbs up, man. Best CDM in the La Liga, in my opinion. Don't use Sergio Busquets. Moving on. Move on! Turan became usable in FIFA because as a winger, it was never going to cut it. Okay, I'll stop. And then Iaki Williams on the outside. If you're playing maybe a 4-3-2-1, you're going to like him. Very physical for a winger. Athletic winger. Remember, he used to be a Supreme Silver last year, so got the big upgrade. I put Marcel as a left back, but I do love Trey Molinas. I think Marcel is close to that 30K mark, just under maybe. And then Mangala and Varane. And outside of Varane, defensively, the center back position is so debatable in this league. I don't like many of the center backs. You could put Mathieu. There's another French guy that's got kind of a strange name. Is it Timothy? Is his first name? I can't remember his last name or how to say it right now for the video. You could use Martinez. It's just not the best choices. When I've used center backs from the La Liga, I'm never impressed. Unless you've got a bunch of coins, maybe you go Varane and Ramos and put that together. A lot of athleticism there. I put DeMarcus as my right back. I believe in the man. He also had a big-time SBC. And then N'Golo Lopez, another struggle point if you're building a La Liga team, is always going to be the goalkeeper. We not done! There's the man, the myth, the legend, Trey Molinas. Next thing we have Alba. Felipe Luis, who's brilliant. Might be the best defending left back in this league. Not as good maybe going forward, but he's got a lot of size. Kind of center back size, but he's a fullback. I like it. Gamero, who I talked about. Juan Fran. You got a lot of good fullbacks, actually. Gomez, who you see used in many teams. Isco. Got a couple informs now. I talked about Pato already. Morata's got a good size. Might get an inform. If you have that 1-to-watch card, I could see him getting an inform at some point. Carvajal, Boateng. Yeah, I'm not leaving Boateng out. And then Casemiro. That's going to wrap this up. Here we are, my FUT Champ squad. Remember, I told you it wasn't going to be cheap. And I do swap from that 4-3-3 into a 4-1-2-1-2. I'll show some sort of graphic on screen. I'm going to show you the instructions when I go into a couple matches where I'm actually playing some friendlies. These all happen live on stream. I like to play the subscribers as much as I can, you guys that are watching. If you want to play, join the Discord server. Come by the live stream, twitch.tv/DirtyMike. But I think we've got a good mix in this squad, and we're going to be able to put up some solid numbers. At least I hope so. Bit of a spoiler, I've started 10-1 in the early stages when this video is being filmed in FUT Champs. Not happy about the one loss either. It was a very unlucky loss, which you guys will see in 40 and 40. Hopefully we can have a great closeout. You never know. Match numero uno. Let's talk about the squad. Defensively, it's kind of the rinse, wash, and repeat where you have the Alaba, Boateng, Smalling, Kyle Walker. And I'd like to add a couple legends in the defensive back line sooner rather than later. I like Ferdinand, I like Blanc, and they're not unreasonable. Both of them will cost you together about 1.5, which isn't cheap, but it's the same price as Ronaldo. So if you're generating some coins and you have the ability to invest in defense, or you struggle defensively, might not be a bad look. Neuer in goal, he's been showing up for me, so I cannot complain. Thus far, he's been good. You never know. I realize that people say that Neuer doesn't always get the job done for them. I understand. I have a theory that it depends what type of goals or shots you allow. Are you allowing long shots? Are you in a bunch of 1v1 situations where people have breakaways? How are you playing? I think certain keepers make different types of saves at higher percentages and lower percentages. So it's all about choosing the goalkeeper for you. For example, Buffon does not come out well, in my opinion. So if you give up a bunch of breakaways, Buffon just doesn't look comfortable in those 1v1 scenarios, at least when I've been using him, alright? Buffon's also not amazing for me in the air. I'm not trying to knock him, he's still the best goalkeeper in the Serie A. And then in the midfield, you've got main man Vieira, who I'm expecting big things from. He's going to be our CDM, he's holding it down. Pogba and Gareth Bale are going to be in the midfield. I think a lot of people sleep on Gareth Bale as a midfielder. He has great overall stats, and then with that kind of speed and strength, put him on the left side so you have that across the body. And if someone's parking the bus against you, he's got good long shots. And that's the same with Pogba. It's very important to have a team that has enough balance with size, skill, long shooting, passing, build-up, if you want to generate the best possible result. At least in my opinion, I try to build teams that I think have the best balance that I can create. You see what I mean? And then as a triangle of doom right there, I brought Rui Costa back into the squad. I really liked him this year. He's been solid for me. And it's important to have a cam that can pass. I felt like last weekend, by using Gareth Bale and Griezmann, they're good at passing, but they couldn't make the long passes that have a lot of, or maybe the correct weight is what I should say, where they have good spin and they're just amazing through balls. You didn't have that when I was using Gareth Bale or Griezmann as a cam, because I remember I was swapping that. I wanted to try it a little bit, experiment. Now, if you're doing a bunch of short passes, it was all good. But there's something about having a natural center attacking mid that is special. We scored some trash goals, by the way, in this second game, this friendly. Can understand if he had a little bit of some salt. We deserved to get the W, but a couple of these just seemed like some friendly bounces. He had a couple legend defenders, actually. And then Ronaldo and Griezmann left foot. And there's something special about his positioning. I've talked about it. He's pretty quick, but it's more about right place, right time with Griezmann. Not very physical. And then Ronaldo is Ronaldo. He's going to give you the FIFA gods luck of dream. He's good for Ronaldo stuff, at least 4 or 5 times during an FUT Champs 40 match setup. And I'm talking about goals that you just should not score, passes that you made mistakes. You just figure something out. He's like, I got you. But if you enjoy it, drop a thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here. I think this video is going to come out a bit late, but I hope you guys are there to support it. Until next time, peace.